Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of This Deck Sucks. I don't know what to call this yet, or why this deck sucks. Today, we're going to be going over Kaijus. Now, the Kaijus are a series of main deck monsters and spells and traps that have the all share the common effect. Besides, I think the two win conditions to special summon themselves to the opponent's field by tributing a monster they control. Um, and they can also special summon themselves to your field if your opponent controls a kaiju monster, with the exception that either player can only control one kaiju. They also all have their own bonus effects by removing kaiju counters, which their spells and traps generate for them. Their spells and traps, such as Kyoto Waterfront, which generates. I don't know if I put Kyoto Waterfront. I did. This one's less scripted than the other, if you haven't noticed. So Kaijus as a deck have never topped a YCS on their own, and they really aren't meant to be played as their own deck, which sucks because they all have unique effects with the Kaiju counters, such as Gamciel being probably the most well-known one, being a non-once per turn Omni Negate and Banish. So it's probably the best one. Interrupted Kaiju Slumbers, Dark Hole plus E-Telly for Kaijus. Kaiju Files is pretty good. It's just generates counters. Kaiju Capture Missions, Book of Moon, and that's basically all the good cards. I mean, I think Godarla's okay, Dogeron's okay, the Thunderstorm one is okay. It's a triple attacker. It's pretty good actually. But there's a lot of the other kaijus have pretty bad effects if you wanted to use them as their own main deck cards. But what were kaijus used as competitively? They were used as, because of their ability to tribute without starting a chain or creating interactable effects, they were used as outs to unaffected monsters since you could just tribute over them, and as outs to boards with a bunch of negates. You would tribute over their problematic card and have a much easier time going second. It also doesn't take your normal summon, like stuff like Lava Golem, and it lets you special summon with stuff like, I don't think Spear Mode. Spear Mode I think lets you special summon, but it only requires a 1-for-1 instead of a 3-for-1. So what is the main problem with kaijus? They can't go first because you can't bring themselves out if your opponent doesn't control a monster. You can't control more than one, so even if you wanted to play a kaiju deck, you're stuck to one kaiju, and the best one is the weakest one in attack value. They have no real win condition. The super anti-kaiju mechs are really bad. They're very, very bad. And your opponent can use your own kaiju counter. So even if you try to combo with something like with the Kyoto Waterfront out, you will have your own effects. If you manage to give them Godarla or something else, you'll have your own kaiju counters taken from you. So there is a big problem in that Kyoto Waterfront and Gameciel, the Sea Turtle Kaiju, are both very good cards. So giving the deck crazy support would mean risking making a broken deck because of how good these two cards are specifically. So now we will be looking at our custom cards. I've added clauses to make the cards much more balanced. So first is Kaiju Brainwashing. This one's probably the worst spell I made. I just wanted to get rid of the fact that your opponent would take control of your Kaijus. So this also helps with stuff like, what's it called? I guess Fairy Tale Luna Owner Seal decks. Kaiju Brainwashing. If your opponent controls any monsters originally owned by you, take control of them, ignoring any conditions they may have. Then you can banish cards from your opponent's graveyard equal to the number of cards you took control of. It's basically just a little bonus effect. This one's probably, it's not once per turn. It's just basically take your cards back. It's like, okay, it's whatever. Volcanthros, the Molten Lava Kaiju. It's a level 7 Pyro monster, which shares the common Kaiju effects of being able to tribute a Kaiju monster, or tribute an opponent's monster to summon a Kaiju, and summoning itself if your opponent controls the Kaiju. It also, but this one lacks the shared, you can only control only one Kaiju. And it gets the bonus effect of, if it's summoned, your opponent can add a Kaiju card from the deck to your hand. So if you do use this attribute, you get to search a Kaiju card, which could be, of course, Kaiju Brainwashing. It also has a beneficial quick effect. Remove any number of Kaiju counters from the field, destroy an equal number of cards on the field. Not once per turn, non-target or removal. The rest of the Kaijus besides Gameciel are kind of poop, so giving them a good disruption tool is very important, as well as a way to clear out the field so they can get a push for game, maybe be an OTK deck. Third, you can't really see this card name, but I think I called it AntiKaiju Attack Squad. It's a level 4, 2000 attack, 2000 defense warrior. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned to your opponent's field from your hand while they control a kaiju monster. If this card is special summoned, discard one card to negate this effect, or your opponent can special summon one kaiju monster from their deck. Also, neither player can summon AntiKaiju Attack Squad for the rest of the turn. You cannot activate effects of kaiju monsters on your field except for AntiKaiju Attack Squad. If your opponent summons a kaiju monster, destroy this card, then place one kaiju counter on every card on the field, on every face-up card on the field. So basically, this makes you e-tele a kaiju after you tribute off one of your opponent's monsters. It locks your opponent from stealing the effects of your kaijus and stealing your counters, and it also places counters and gets rid of itself. Actually, I wonder if I should make it blow itself up. That seems kind of bad, right? Okay, we can ignore that part. And the last one, I wanted to give them a new boss monster. So this is a la the Therian boss monster. Boss monster. I think it's called like Therian or regular. Cannot be normal summons or set. Must be special summoned by its own effect. Target up to 3 kaiju monsters in either player's field or graveyard. Special summon this card, then equip these cards. This card gains the activated effects of all kaiju monsters equipped to it. Once per turn, if a card effect would require kaiju counters to be removed, you can send one kaiju monster equipped to this card instead. If this card leaves the field due to an opponent's card, you can send one card they control to the graveyard, then summon one kaiju monster from your deck or graveyard. You can only use each effect of Amalgam, the combined horror kaiju, once per turn. Basically, it's a big beater. It's high stats, high damage. It can also put any kaiju at once on it, and it can also go around the kaiju counter thing. It's very strong. I think kaijus lacked a strong boss monster like this, which would make them playable as their own standalone strategy. Kaiju weapons test. Remove any number of kaiju counters from your field. Draw cards equal to the number of counters removed. Then you can add one kaiju spell trap from your deck to your hand. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon from the extra deck. You can only activate one kaiju weapons test once. You can only... Oh, I mistyped. So basically, this makes it so you can, if you have something like five counters on Kyoto Waterfront, you are drawing 5 with this shit. And you get to benefit by searching other kaiju spell traps. It's basically one of the most broken search spells in the game and draws cards in the game. Like, it's really, really good. Because it's so good, I did make it lock you out of the extra deck. I didn't want this being in part of some combo slop. But I want you to instead be forced to use the kaiju new boss monsters I made and the new spell and traps I made. And the last one I think is Entrance to the Kaiju Realm. This card I'm pretty sure I made broken. You cannot special summon from the extra deck. Once per turn, you can special summon one kaiju monster from your hand or graveyard with a different name from the ones you currently control. As long as this card remains face up on the field, you can control more than one kaiju monster. Once per turn, reveal any number of kaiju monsters in your hand and place kaiju counters on this card equal to the number of cards revealed for this effect. Once per turn, remove any number of kaiju counters from anywhere on the field, then add one kaiju monster with a level equal to or lower than the number of counters removed from your deck to your hand. So it specials a kaiju to your field, it generates kaiju counters, it searches with kaiju counters, it works very well with the rest of this archetype in the deck, and it also locks you from special summoning from the extra deck, just because I do not want these to be splashable. And that's it. Yeah, let me know if you think these make kaijus better as a oops. And that's it. So let me know if you think these cards help the deck in general, if they will make them more playable, if they make them too broken, if it's not helpful enough, I need to make more. But yeah, thank you guys for your response to the Marincess episode. I really liked it. And let me know if you want me to continue making this a series. Bye guys.